Jael with the amazing stories. So I'm going to pick up on what both Minister Montsev and the ambassador has said about LBTI people having access to the workplace and some of the challenges that they face in the changing world of work. I will be talking about the first ever transgender employment discrimination case that my organization, Common Language, litigated over the past year in China, and how this is significant in propelling China's anti-discrimination legislation. So the plaintiff of this case, Mr. C, he is a community organizer, LBTI community organizer, trans man in the southwestern province in China. So last year he got a job as a health consultant in a very popular medical chain. And after a week, he was terminated from this job. And HR cited that he dressed like a lesbian and did not project a healthy image, therefore was unfit to be a health consultant in the center. And because his identity card still said female, even though he identified, dressed as a man and lived as a man, but in China you'd have to go through the full set of sexual reassignment surgery to have the gender change on your ID card. So this litigation, this case, was picked up by public interest lawyers pro bono a couple of months after the incident happened, because in the initial few months, even though Mr. C reached out to a couple of lawyers, they said because there might be insufficient evidence for litigation, so it was not picked up. So first, this case went to the local labor arbitration committee, and it was inconclusive in the committee, so Mr. C then took it to court. And in the hearing, we introduced an expert testimony from a professor who is the leading expert on anti-discrimination legislation in China. And she's on the committee to draft the actual law that is being drafted right now. And this is the first time that a witness testimony has been used in either a employment discrimination case or a LGBTI rights case. And in a historical ruling last December, the judge actually ruled that it was unlawful termination and awarded Mr. C with back pay. But the judge did not acknowledge explicit discrimination in this case. So of course, we, even though we won, we were still not satisfied, and Mr. C is taking the case to another civil court on the grounds of recognition of discrimination. So this is happening next month, which is really, really exciting. So what is the importance of this? Concrete impact litigation examples like this does not only garner media attention, even though Mr. C's face was all over New York Times, the Washington Post, a bunch of Chinese media, both local and domestic, but this also facilitates stakeholder buy-in from lawmakers and legal experts, and especially legal experts who are on drafting committees of these upcoming laws. National level proposed legislation takes anywhere from years to decades to maybe never getting passed in China. The anti-domestic violence law took well over a decade. So concrete cases like this and inaugural rulings like these are really legally relevant and influential, and especially when it's coordinated within a broader advocacy effort on the issue. So our advocacy strategy has been to pair evidence-based research with strong case examples to cultivate allies within the legal community who are commissioned to draft these laws. So over the last couple of years, we have been really active in engaging with policy development in this way. So the current draft of the anti-discrimination in employment law in China is SOGI inclusive. So it includes language on sexual orientation, gender identity, which is great. But there definitely still are a lot of challenges, and maybe years to come before this can be shepherded past the National People's Congress, the Standing Politburo, and So, but in the meantime, what we are doing is to continue to engage in this way, as well as empowering LGBTI communities to be aware of their legal rights and to augment legal justice, so that more cases like this can be brought forth to influence policy development, as well as just the capacity to address rights violations when they happen. So this is a combination of strategy that we're using. And I'm going to stop here, and I would love to field questions later on this, and definitely look forward to talking about this more.